Right around the corner from the diner is an old luxury hotel, one that has seen far better days. In those better days, it hosted people like Bela Lugosi and the Three Stooges. In these not better days, it plays host to about 8 floors full of men and women, most of them veterans, and all of them mentally ill. And back in the days before we got our TV hit and the place filled up, we were more of a neighborhood or community place. And we got a lot of those guys. One of my favorite people was Carl. Carl was old. I knew he was from the South. I couldn't understand a fucking word he said. But that did not ruin our relationship as coffee pourer and coffee drinker. Carl was actually a joy when he came in. Here's this guy, something happened to him along the way to make him mentally ill, doesn't have shit for money, doesn't have a lot of people coming to visit him. But he's just fucking happy. I don't know how his mother raised him, but she did a good job. Carl, like the rest of the people over at the hotel, don't get a lot of money. They probably got something like $2 to $5 a day. Carl would come in. If he saved his money, he'd ask for a cup of coffee and something. I could never make out what it was. I had to get other people to help him. But it generally turned out to be American fried potatoes. And at that point, he went from being happy to being happier. I want to try and do my best Carl imitation. He'd come in and see you. He'd wave his hand, kind of fingers wide open. They'd say, "Hello, buddy." On days when he didn't have much money, he'd do what some of the other people occasionally did. He'd search the streets, the sidewalks, the grass, and find whatever jewelry or gold-looking things he could that he figured he could barter for coffee and American fries. And about all the time, the stuff he brought in was crap, but you know, you don't say that to him, you just give him the American fries. And he'd just be happy as hell. I had always wondered about Carl's origin story. And I did find out what it was one day. People come in, I chat him up. The mom was probably about 40, the daughter was about 15. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, "Where are you from?" "We're from Alabama. We're going to visit my uncle. He lives over in that hotel over there." And I said, "What's your uncle's name?" "What's my Uncle Carl." "What happened to him?" And she explained to me that when Carl was in the Army in World War II, he was attached to a naval vessel in the Pacific. His job was to pull American soldiers' bodies out of the drink. And one day he just snapped. I had a big boy job for a while. And a year and a half later, when I came back to town to get the old job back, I found out he was dead. Anyway, that was the story of Carl.